guys, and welcome to the Stitch Sessions, and welcome to a crochet quick chat where I try to have a quick little chat to answer some of the most common questions. And I haven't done one of these in a while, but I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to create a quick chat because this is going to be the companion to the tutorial on how to crochet this cute little cardigan. Now, this is all about how to size up your garments. And I go through that all in the tutorial because I get a lot of questions on people that ask me, you know, when I make something specific, even though I make them customizable, I still get some questions about how do I size it up or how do I size it down? Usually it's how do I size it up? So in this crochet quick chat, I am just going to be talking about how you can create an easy 3-block cardigan in any size. So I go through this in the tutorial. So I bring out my little figure here. And basically your cardigan is just put together in 3 blocks. So you will have the back panel, which is basically just a square or a rectangle, depending on how long you're going to create your cardigan. And then you have 2 rectangles on the front for each side panel. Of course you have your sleeves, but when I'm talking about the blocks, I'm basically talking about the body. We all know that a cardigan has sleeves. I just wanted to go over the different ways you can create cardigans. And this will be the first in a series of a few videos I will do, and I will also make companion quick chats to them. So I'm going to now just lead into the footage from that tutorial that talks about how to break down your sizing and how to measure to create your 3-block panels. So, I mean, this one was just created using a linked single crochet stitch. So you can keep it really super easy, and as long as you get the measurements of your blocks, then it's just a matter of sewing it all together and you're good to go. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Karen and I love all things to do with crafting with crochet. And I invite you to come hang out with me. I upload a brand new tutorial every Wednesday morning. So hopefully you'll find this quick chat useful. And I'll also leave a link in the description box down below of the full tutorial where we do create this. Now, this is a baby size cardigan. It's for roughly 6 months old. But I do explain how you can size this up into an adult size. So my goal with a lot of these quick chats is to set you free in being able to design your own garments in your size or whatever size you like, and to be able to figure out very quickly how you can do that. So if you like this quick chat, you find it useful, hit that subscribe button and come hang out with me every week. So without further ado, I'm going to let you dive into the breakdown of how to crochet your very own 3-block cardigan in any size. So you can go to the website crochetcrafty.com and download any of the sizing charts that you need. So like I said, for this one, I'm making for a baby. So I've got a baby crochet garment sizing charts. We also have adult sizing charts as well as toddlers and children. I've had a few of you ask me some questions on other garment tutorials on how you can size up. And this tutorial will be a great guide for this particular style of cardigan on how you can size up. All the designs I create with regards to clothing are easily customizable, and they have to do with just figuring out a couple of measurements. So that's what we're going to start off with here. And I just have a little outline here because it's just going to help me kind of take you through the first step, which is taking measurements of your garment before you get started. Okay, so the 2 measurements you are going to need for this project, regardless of how large you're making it, is you're going to need a back to waist measurement and your chest circumference, or the largest part of your torso. For most people, it is around the chest. If you're making this for an adult and your midsection or your stomach area happens to be the largest part of your torso, then that is the measurement you are going to take. So this is where the sizing charts come in handy. So like I said, I'm going to make mine for a baby about 6 to 12 months. So I just look at my chart here and I look for my age. So there's the 6 months. And the charts are in both metric as well as imperial. So you've got inches as well as centimeters. So I just look for my back to waist, okay? And then I go across here and mine is 7 inches. So I'm just gonna write that down just so that I have it on hand here. Oops, let me put this in red. So my back to waist measurement is 7 inches, okay? And the other measurement I need is my chest circumference. And so I go back to my chart here, and chest is the very first one, and I go find my age, 6 months, and it is 17 inches. So that means all the way around is 17 inches. So I'm just going to write that down here. Okay. So when you look at your little outline here of your person, back to waist measurement simply means the vertical length from the back of the neck all the way to your waist. Now, if you would like your cardigan to sit longer, you just start from the nape of the neck and just go to as long as you would like the length to be. So some people like theirs to sit a little bit more around the hips, then that is the measurement you would use. So again, regardless of size, that's the measurement you want to take, okay? The chest circumference is you're going to take that tape measure and wrap it around and behind so you get the full measurement around. That is your chest circumference. Again, if the stomach area happens to be larger, then that is the circumference you are going to take. Once you have that measurement, you're just going to write that down, and you are now equipped to make your 3-block cardigan. And so what I love about this style of cardigan is that it is so easy to make that once you have these measurements, you can make it for any size. So why do we call it a 3-block cardigan? Well, you're essentially going to make the body of your cardigan in 3 pieces or 3 blocks. Now, yes, there's sleeves, but all cardigans have sleeves, so I don't really count that as part of the blocks. So the first block is going to be the one that goes across the back. Okay, so that's one panel there. That's going to cover the back. And then you've got 2 panels, 2 front panels that come across the front here to close up the cardigan in front. Just like that. And then once you have your 3 blocks together, you just sew them, leaving openings for the armholes, and your body is constructed. And then of course, you're going to have sleeves that you're going to attach after. So what are we starting with here? You're going to start with a back panel. Then you have 2 front panels. And then of course at the end you've got your sleeves. And of course this is not to scale. So this is 1, 2, and 3. This is your 3-block cardigan. Now this is where the measurement comes into play. We are going to be working our panels vertically this way. You can also work your panels horizontally and work your way up. But just for the design of this cardigan, I'm going to work vertically. So that is where I need my back to waist measurement first. Okay. So, oh, by the way, one little thing here before we go on. You want to take your chest circumference, that number, you want to divide it by 2. Okay. So that way then you'll have a measurement for the front on its own and a measurement across the back on its own. So 17 divided by 2 is 8.5 inches. Okay. Then you're going to take that number and divide it by 2 again. And I'll tell you why in a minute. And that number divided by 2 is 4.25. Okay. So take your measurements, then do the calculations and leave these numbers aside. So when you're working on the first block, because like I said, I'm working vertically, this is why I need that back to waist measurement. So my measurement is 7 inches. So that means, let me just go back to my blue here and I'll zone in here. So that means here, this length needs to be 7 inches. So when I start my first panel, I'm going to create my foundation chain up to a length of 7 inches. So like, let me just throw a number out there. Like if you're an adult and you're doing like 40 inches, your chain, you're going to do your first chain the length of 40 inches. And that's basically how you size this type of cardigan to any size. Now, keep in mind that if you're a tight crocheter, you're going to want to go up a hook size, because if you're really, really tight, then as you work stitches into that chain, it's going to kind of ripple a little bit. So just keep that in mind. You want to have a nice even stitch and keep these stitches fairly relaxed. Okay. Now, so you're going to do your chain for 7 inches or 40 inches if you're doing it for an adult. And then you're going to work your stitch, whatever the stitch may be, which I'm going to go over with you guys. And you're going to work your way across the panel. And you might be asking, well, how do I know how wide to make the panel? Well, that's where this number comes into play here. So you go to your chest circumference, and the number that you divided by 2, that's going to give you 1 full side. So that's across the back. So you are going to keep going until you have 8.5 inches. So again, that's my measurement. It would be whatever measurement you took and divide it by 2. Okay. So once you've done the number of rows that you need up until that width, your back panel is complete. We're then going to move on to the 2 front panels. And now this is where the second calculation of dividing this number in half. So we're actually just going to make the same panel essentially, but we're going to cut it in half. So you will start again by creating a chain. That's going to be 7 inches. And you do as many rows as you need until you get half of this measurement. Now, in reality, I actually am going to take off that 1/4 inch and I'm just going to go up to 4. So I'm only going to do 4 inches. And the reason why I do that is because I always want a little bit of a gap in the center, because I generally do a finishing round, or maybe I'm going to make some buttonholes, and that's going to close in the gap there. So for my panels, I'm going to make 7 inches still, same height, because you want it to match the back panel. And then this time I'm only going to go up to 4 inches. And then I'm going to create a second panel exactly the same as that first one. Once you've got those 3 panels done, your 3 block cardigan body, so to speak, is complete. You can then take these pieces and you're going to place them. So let me just draw it over here separately. So you take your back panel, and then you're going to take your 2 front panels. You're going to place them on top of the back panel. And then you're just going to leave a little bit of an opening for your sleeves. And then you're just basically going to sew up these sides, sew up your shoulders, and the body of your cardigan is done. And then, of course, you're going to make those blocks for your sleeve. Now you can do the sleeves a couple of different ways. You can create 2 separate blocks, in which case you will need to take a measurement. Whoops, that was a long sleeve. You will need to take the measurement of your sleeve length. Okay, and so again, you can come back to the chart. Okay, and you just look for sleeve length, which is underarm to wrist, and you go across. So for me, I will make my sleeve length of 6.5 inches. And the other number you're going to want to find is the armhole depth. Okay, and that's usually going to be the circumference around. I'm going to double check that. But you know what? If you're ever uncertain, you take your trusty You take your trusty measuring tape and you're going to measure around the arms. So you're going to measure the circumference of the arm somewhere around the upper bicep. So just like what you did with the chest, you'll measure around here. And that measurement is how wide you're going to make your sleeve. Okay? So I'm kind of explaining a lot before we actually get started. This is a perfect tool to help you size up or size down any of these simple construction cardigans. And there you have it, guys, the 3 block cardigan. So I hope you found that it took away some of the mystery behind how to crochet a cardigan for any size. I would say that's one of the easiest ways to crochet a cardigan, especially if you're a little newer to crochet. There are a few other methods on how you can crochet a cardigan, and I will also talk about how you can create them in any size you like. So stay tuned. There's going to be a few more of these crochet quick chats coming up as we get further along into the season. In the meantime, I hope you do enjoy that full cardigan tutorial. And if you have any requests on any other project you'd like to see me tackle, if there's something in particular that you haven't seen me do yet, please do leave it for me in the comment box down below. And don't forget, come visit me on the website at crochetcrafty.com. All of the sizing charts that I ever refer to are on the website and they're free. You can download them absolutely free. So lots of great tools for you there. And don't forget, sign up for my monthly newsletter because I gift you a free written pattern every single month. All right, guys, that's it for today's Crochet Quick Chat. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next session. Bye-bye.